as I have told you in the last video of my Vue JS online class, then you see that there's another way of combining, for example, two other variables. To say it generally, computeds, so we just have another way here, computed. Computeds are values that are depending on other, for example, variables or properties or even other computeds. But the difference is that computeds behave like methods, but they are cached. So if a value in a computed value is changing, then only this computed value is recalculated. So let's make a difference. Let's make full name as a computed value, and you see the notation is slightly different than this one here is above. Data is a function, is a method that is returning an object, and computed is a full object that is consisting of methods. Here you see it. And this computed returns this first name and then this last name. And you see the context is slightly different in the options API. This is more familiar from Vue.js 2, for example, and this is called options API. This is not the setup API, so the composition variant of Vue.js. This is option. Why is it called option? Because on another point of our application, like for example, here you see import hello world, and then it's used here. Here the whole file is imported. You see, this is our component. And the option here, message, then data, and full name, this is passed as an option to this class constructor. Yeah, I think this could be said like this. And you see here is our object and our option. That's why this is the option API. Setup is another way of declaring references, so data and computed, but we will come to this later on. This is more or less the same in Vue.js 2 and in Vue.js 3. So we see here the computed value full name. And you even see the context, because we are here, and let's go back, we are here in a component. And the constructor, and it's called, and it's initialized the component, and then you see this context is referencing here on this first name. We also can say, for example, test and reference on another computed, for example, return this full name and pass even a property. And the property is called message, and yeah, it's the same like accessing here a value, this dot message. So then you see we have here the full name computed, which is depending on these two values here, first name, last name. Then we have the test computed, which is depending on this full name computed property and this property, which is coming from the outside. So you see there's a kind of naming. The properties here are coming from the outside, and the computed properties, also properties, are coming from other values. So you can remember yourself, properties are always values that are coming from another place of your application. So computeds are based on other values, properties are coming from the outside, and data, those are variables in our component. So now let's just print the value of full name. And yeah, that's another one. That's nothing special. Maybe you should now do a task for yourself. Just try, hit pause on the video and just try to print a random value here. Make a horizontal line, and then you see print a random value. Random. How would you do it? Just use Google how to randomize values, so random value, and how would you do it now? Or maybe you just hit pause on the video. There could be the math random function, math random, for example. And you see this is a random value, and every time I just hit refresh, then the value has changed. But we do not call methods in the front end. That was the thing I just said to you as as we talked about the computed properties. We never call methods in the front end. So we just use this here and put it, for example, into a computed random value. And then we are returning this one here, random value. And then you see nothing changed. But when it comes to the second task, for example, how to change these values, then you will see why it isn't a good idea to use methods here on this place. Because Vue.js is doing, what is Vue.js doing? We see here our values, we see first name, last name, we see our computeds here, and it is, have a look if here is a value that changed. If there isn't, then here it will not re-render our component. But if here is a method on this place, Vue.js isn't able to get to know if the value has changed or not. Methods are called anytime when it comes to a re-render. But if it's a little bit too high for you, we come to this later in the next videos when we are talking about the Vue.js lifecycle. But for this, now we have computeds, properties, and data. And what we are doing in the next video is we are talking about directives. So what should be the learnings right now? We have data, we have computed, we have props. In the next video, we will have another thing which is called directives.